Hey, hello. As in the title it says, this is gonna be a little bit of just ramblings, the usual. But essentially, I went to my first FurCon, which was Motor City FairCon. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the name, but I do know it as mcfc 2026. Overall, it was a great experience. Some of the cars had some pretty funny stuff on them. I'm not gonna lie. Peak experience. Um, the first day, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty overwhelmed. I have never seen this many people in just one room. And I had a lot of people coming up to see saying, hey, hello, stuff like that. I was pretty conked out, but I don't think it helped that I had a buzzball at the beginning of the day without eating. But I'm pretty strong, so it was okay. Um, I remember waiting in the registration line. It was very, it was very long, but you know what? It's honestly probably a really short registration compared to like what other people have witnessed. So I look thought that was pretty cool. Another thing was, well, waiting during registration. My friend had to register on the website. I was awkward. I had to fend for myself, and then I added some person. He told me their name was Return to. I remember talking to him at the beginning, and I was like, "Oh, howdy." I I don't think I've ever seen him again. Met someone because I was waiting, and he just started talking to me. I'm like, "Oh, howdy." Um, because my protogen head is has multiple eyes. Uh, I was kind of thinking because I had two faces, or well, two set faces for my protogen, and one of them kind of was like it was like on a loop face, and if I was kind of like, I'm not really too feeling it, I could have changed it definitely. And then the second one was just multiple eyes. Also had a cowboy hat, as you can see in probably the pictures. But I'll actually put up another picture of what it looks like with the other one. But essentially, like, oh my god, I like your protogen. I'm like, thank you, thank you. I really didn't know how to speak to people at the time. It was like a little awkward. And so I just kind of end up saying, hey, hey, hi, hey. I definitely was a little conked out, I would say. But overall, very, very fun experience. After we waited on after registration was done and that, the first thing I thought of, dealer's den. I was like, how much money am I gonna spend on dealer's den? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think the dealer's den was that fun, but it was pretty fun. I have an ongoing commission going for a wallet. Hopefully, I did not get scammed, but you know what? I believe I'm not gonna get scammed. Also got another badge. I'll definitely put a picture right there. I only took like 2 days, 3 days, which wasn't bad. No, it was like 2 days. Let's see. I know I really spent most of my time looking at stuff in the dealer's den because I thought it was pretty cool. I saw so much. I have a lot of keychains. I can essentially assault someone. My keychain, or well, my keys are basically a flail now. I'm blanking out. I went to the artist alley. That that was like, actually, you know what? Let me explain this one panel. We learned how to write smut. That was an interesting panel. I never thought I would sit there and listen to write smut. It was very, very awkward, but it was very funny. Um, we had to pick out 5 topics, or well, 5 things off of the funny 621 site, and we came up with impreg, ass play, oviposition, and I can't remember the another one, but it was essentially just that. Very interesting. And then picked up the number, it was 115, and then we started slowly making the story. That was very funny. Essentially, it was giant macros, or I think it's macros. I don't know, the giant people. I don't remember my terms like that. Essentially, giant furries um, breeding when the towers fell. This directly from there. Oh my jeez, that was a panel of all time. Another thing was the artist alley. I didn't do too much the first day. I was like a little cooked after 4 p.m. Time moves really fast when you're in a convention. I'm not gonna lie, it moves super fast. But essentially, artist alley was well, artist alley. I'm not gonna lie. I may or may not have spent a lot of money, but you know what? It, it's it's irrelevant. The con itself, there was like dancing randomly. It was just peak. Second day had a lot more to it, but the first day was kind of just like an introduction. It was apparently Dime was there. I know on the server I'm in, a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, Dime was there." I'm like, no way. Essentially, he was there. I did not get a picture with him. I was too scared, way too scared to even talk to people. I'm gonna be honest. Um, let's see. What else did I see from the first day? Well, a whole bunch of cool fursuits. I've seen a few protogens, the fellows, but not enough, not enough first day. But to wrap up that first day, I think like around 4 or 5, I went back home because I was very, very overstimulated and tired. I was very tired. All right. After, I was feeling pretty exhausted, I went back home, like temporarily, just to decompress and all that jazz. Felt amazing. After not eating for like most of the day, being able to eat felt so nice. Anyways, after, that whole thing, we went back around like 8, you know, the usual. We went to the gamer area, which was, oh, in my opinion, it was super cool. I've never seen a gamer area like that, but that was the first time I have seen a gamer area like that cool. I'm not gonna lie, never seen something like that. Um, we played Black Ops with some one guy. Unfortunately I don't remember his name, but he had like a small plush in his back that was like a dog. Oh, it was pretty cool. And we also played other memorable Xbox games. After that, we went to go play Deadlock, and that was the first day. I'm not gonna lie, there wasn't nothing too major going on besides karaoke, which unfortunately I missed. Very sad for that. Very sad for that. But overall, I would say event wise was pretty cool. Was amazing. I mean, panel wise, I didn't really see any too good of panels, but the rest weren't bad. The rest weren't bad. Day 2. Going to the con. Took me a little bit to get there. I lost my hat and my cord. I was supposed to get there at 12. The photo shoot was supposed to be at 12. And it got pushed back to 12:30, which wasn't a bad thing. Oh, I'm so glad that it went to 12:30. Or I think it was like 12:45. I was a little late. It was outside. I showed the picture here. Hopefully it's already up. Essentially, I was just aura farming, kind of. I was low key living the life a little bit. That was really cool. I'm so glad I love taking pictures in that con. For all that, my friend, or well, my handler, I should say, went to go do registration and left me with a bunch of, well, free will and to walk around. Um, I started taking random pictures with people. I know that audio clip's gonna sound a little weird, but I I I shown up here. I'll have it slowly pan through, I guess. Um, I don't know. It's kind of got the courage to. I was like, I need to make this a little more memorable by taking pictures. Everyone was pretty chill. I am really glad. No one was like, oh no, you blew up. Apparently I met a streamer, according to my handler. It was pink and white Pugs, nearly red. I don't really remember, but very nice. Apparently they're a streamer. I'm pretty sure they was just calling them by their persona name. I have no clue. I genuinely don't know because I couldn't hear them. Um, let's see what else happened to that con. Um, if I'm not mistaken, they too had the rave night, which unfortunately I did not go. I left because I was hungry. Um, let's see. There was the BIPOC meeting. I'm just gonna go in like backwards to front. I can't really remember my orders right now. Um, it was the BIPOC meeting, which it was not fashionably late this time, but us getting there. It wasn't bad. I talked with a few and called it a day. The way I got recruited by it is I was in the artist alley and someone's like saying, "Hey, that guy wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds super mysterious. What's wrong?" And then he shows me like his hand or well, his phone. He's like, "Yeah, we're meeting up." And I'm like, "Okay, yes." And he's like, "Do you have Telegram?" I'm like, "Yes, but I don't use it too enough. I don't use it enough." But yeah, sure. So went to that. It wasn't bad. It was just playing music, stuff like that. Nothing bad overall. Not a bad playlist. The second one was the Prute meetup. I'm just gonna call it Prute meetup, not the Proto Gym meetup. Prute meetup. That was very nice in my opinion. Loved it. It started out very small. I met up with this orange protogen. Did not know who he was. Really wish I could get his Instagram maybe or something. He had the sword to rule them all, and that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But outside of the sword to rule them all, I clicking stuff on my other monitor. Um, he was just cool. I'm not gonna lie. He was like, "Oh, there's a protege meetup." I'm like, "No way. There's a protege meetup? What?" And I essentially just followed him all the way through and found him. I started slowly getting a name of the biblically accurate protogen. I think I said that before, but it started slowly like catching on and on. Um, Overall, it was a pretty cool second day. I know not much really happened the second day, besides just like I went to the dealer's den. I posed. That meme was like, "How much you gonna spend at the dealer's den? Zero." And then they like faint. Um, well, let's see what else. I'm probably forgetting something. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember too much of the second day. I wish it was there for what was it the rave night? Unfortunately, I was not. Overall, it wasn't bad. I know I was there until like 11, and I got really hungry. Overall, not a bad one. Well, besides playing games, but I mean that's just playing games. It's not really the same. The panels were a little weird. I did not really see interest into going into the panels on the second day. That's probably why I don't really remember a lot. Um, yeah, that I don't really. It was a little weird. Um, the next one, day three. Now, arguably my favorite one, despite being the longest and the most boring one in my opinion, but it was my favorite. Starting out, I had a different handler. He was my coworker. I am like literally his manager, so it, this is gonna be. It was already very awkward at work. I was like, yeah, if you didn't know, I get down. Anyways, I took my coworker to my to mcfc, and we essentially just walked around a little bit. I was showing him panels. We went to the another panel on how to make visual writing. That was a very interesting panel on its own. Um, the plot line, I'm gonna give a brief summary. Uh, Two people, one gets killed, another one appears. We go to their lagoon. Another one appears in a tight speedo that is barely transparent. The other one disintegrates into ash because they're scared of nudity. And then someone arises from the ash and says, "Did that guy just turn into ash?" And then turns into American Ash. That was peak visual novel writing. That guy does such a good work. You just had to be there. Just had to. And then Squidward got turned into Skidwad. Very, very cool. Um, After that panel, that was at like around 4:30 because I got there at 2, unfortunately. So, the Dead Dog Dex was gonna happen. I was really excited for that. So, after a little bit of malingering, doing nothing, we decided to go to the game room, play games. Nothing really too eventful. Just talking with some companions, the usual. Oh, hello, cat. Um, then we went to the sponsors lounge. I got myself a little mocha shot. Be the worst thing I've ever done. And I got a few stuff from 2020. I got like a few like little goods, a shirt, a cup, and a lanyard. Nothing too good, but nothing too bad. Overall, I liked it. Or I like the little loots. Now here, the dead dog dance. When I first started, I really didn't know how to dance too well. I didn't know how to dance at all. It was looking my first time. I mean, for someone who's a cave dweller like me, what do you expect? And then a train just kind of just appeared. Not an actual train like that just happened a minute ago, but a conga line, that's what they're called. I was just kind of just congaing around. I was just going with the flow. I didn't really know what to do, but I just knew we just gotta go with the beats and you just nod your head. I was a little confused, but I was enjoying it. I was enjoying it though. I thought this was peak experience, honestly. I was living at I was living. Um for sure after this train, one of my companions came up to me, or friends, you know what? Either way. Either one works. Um I was like, "Hey, you should dance." He's like, "He doesn't know how to dance." I'm like, I'm gonna show you. I don't know how to dance too, but you step to the beat. You just step to the beat. That's it. Just swing and step to the beat. Um, he didn't really get it too quite well, but he started slowly picking it up. And then, I think the beat was about to drop soon, where, stuff was getting a little wicked. I just started, it's the equivalent of pressing random buttons on your controller, I'm gonna be honest. Um, but I kind of took dancing as or well, emoting, I'm just gonna call this. It's like you just mix different stuff. Uh, some of the stuff I thought about was from Warframe. Some of the mini emotes from Warframe. I would say a slight little bit was from the Thanos twerking, where like his arms is like a little close together. He's like doing a little salsa, I guess. That's where like I got like most of my thought from. I don't know. Just overall, very peak event. I have so many recordings and I'm barely through like 3. I'm cramming them all in here. Is going to happen. Um, let's see. Breathing in a protogen helmet, quite hard. Quite hard. I mean, I had it ventilated on the sides. I took off the plastic bits so I can breathe a little bit better. It felt so much better, but I was like trying to keep it going. Unfortunately, my coworker kind of recorded me every time I was like really tired or exhausted. I was like brimming with energy, and now I was kind of a little dimming down on energy, unfortunately. But you know what? I was still trying to keep it going, but it was very difficult. What I would say is there was not that many people dancing like that, which I felt a little odd, but nothing out the ordinary. Pretty sure after this one, it was, well, after me losing balance embarrassingly, or well, I think I got off beat, unfortunately. I think I lost my, well, I didn't lose it, it dropped out of my pocket. I think I got 2 more clips. It like kind of fell out, unfortunately. And then there's like one more clip. I'm gonna leave the sound in on that one. I'll like obviously dim it down so it doesn't just blow out your guys' ears. But yeah, but yeah, that's like most of my experience coming to a close. I'm gonna just leave the last clip with audio, like I said before. I'm just gonna, like, obviously tune it down, like I said before. But that's my MCFC experience right there. I thought it was pretty good. I know some didn't like it because the lack of panels and stuff, but overall, I found it quite enjoyable. But yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna label this, but take care, take care. I'll make a banger later on.